Hello and welcome to my career exploration project, and on this project I chose to look over the airline and commercial pilots' career path. So for what they do, first off, pilots plan their flights by checking that the aircraft is operable and safe, that the cargo has been loaded correctly, and the weather conditions are acceptable. They file flight plans and air traffic control and may modify the plans in flight because of changing weather conditions or other factors. Takeoff and landing can be the most demanding parts of a flight. They require close coordination among the pilots, co-pilot, flight engineer, if present, air traffic controllers, and ground personnel. Once in the air, the captain may have the first officer, if present, fly the aircraft, but the captain remains responsible for the aircraft. After landing, pilots will fill out records that document their flight and the status of their aircraft. This is so they can see if anything went wrong or if they want changes for the future flights. Some pilots are also instructors using simulators and dual-controlled aircraft to teach students how to fly. The following are examples of types of pilots I'm about to say: airline pilots and commercial pilots. Airline pilots work primarily for airlines that transport passengers and cargo on fixed schedule. Commercial pilots are involved in unscheduled flight activities such as aerial application, charter flights, and aerial. The skills that are required to become a commercial or an airline pilot are very, very tedious. And you need an understanding of math and physics, an ability to understand technical information, as pilots need to know how their aircraft works, excellent spatial awareness and coordination, good communication skills and teamwork skills, and the ability to think quickly and make decisions in difficult situations. These are very vital to a flight because they have so many lives in their hands as they are up as many feet in the air as they are. So for the work environment, pilots are assigned to long distance routes, may experience fatigue and jet lag. Weather conditions may result in turbulence, requiring pilots to change the flight altitude. Flights can be long and flight decks are often sealed, so pilots work in small teams for long periods in close proximity to one another. Now, for aerial applicators, also known as crop dusters, may be exposed to toxic chemicals, typically use unimproved landing strips such as grass, dirt, or gravel surfaces, and may be at risk of collision with power lines. Helicopter pilots involved in rescue operations may fly at low levels during bad weather or at night, and land in areas surrounded by power lines, highways, and other obstacles. Pilots use hearing protection devices to prevent their exposure to engine noise. The high level of concentration required to fly an aircraft and the mental stress of being responsible for safety of passengers can be fatiguing. Pilots must be alert and quick to react if something goes wrong. Federal law requires the pilots to retire at age 65. Most pilots are based near large airports. Injuries and illnesses. Although fatalities are uncommon, commercial pilots experience one of the highest rates of occupational fatalities of all occupation. So that is something to keep in mind with the work environment and what is to be expected. The work schedule for airline pilots: fly an average of 75 hours per month, and work an additional 150 hours per month performing other duties such as checking weather conditions and preparing flight plans. Pilots have variable work schedules, and they may include several days off of work followed by some days off. Now, some days they are going coast to coast, state to state, which can vary different times. Everyone is a bit different depending on your airline or wherever you're going, but this can be very stressful on the average person. The median annual wage for airline pilots, co-pilots, and flight engineers was $202,000 in May 2021. The median wage is the wage at which half the workers in an occupation earn more than that amount and half earned less. The lowest 10% earn less than $100,000, and the highest 10% earn more than $208,000. The median annual wage for commercial pilots was $99,000 in May 2021. The lowest 10% earned less than $50,000, and the highest 10% earned more than $205,000. In May 2021, the median annual wages for airline pilots, co-pilots, and flight engineers in the top industries in which they worked as follows: scheduled air transportation, $207,000; federal government including postal service, $113,000; non-scheduled air transportation, $108,000; and support activities for transportation, $103,000. Now, for the job outlook. Overall employment of airline and commercial pilots is projected to grow 6% from 2021 to 2031, about as fast as the average for all occupants. About 18,000 openings for airline and commercial pilots are projected each year on average over the decade. Many of those openings are expected to result from the need to replace workers who transfer to different occupations or exit the labor force, such as retire. For employment of airline commercial pilots is projected to grow as the demand for business and leisure travel recovers from the pandemic. The number of commercial pilots is projected to increase in the industries such as ambulance services, for which these workers will be needed to transfer patients by air to healthcare facilities. College majors for pilots include aviation, aviation technology, aerospace engineering, aeronautical science, and air traffic management. Colleges with aviation or aviation technology programs sometimes have flight training and licensure programs available on campus. So now, for all the credentials you do need, you first need a degree in bachelor's, you need training required, significant flight experience. This could mean a number of hours, a number of flight time, all above. Key skills you do need: problem solving and observational skills and good judgment. Like I said earlier, a license and certification you do need is the federal licensure and certification are required. And yes, you do need a license for this, so it's separate from the actual bachelor degree and all the training required. So all the training required will add up to you doing the final test to get your license, like a car or a motorcycle or a truck. Here are some examples of what other job titles you might encounter when working in aviation and flights in general. You might be a commercial airline pilot, a cargo pilot, an aerial photography and government air service, architectural and crop duster pilot, emergency and rescue pilot, corporate pilot, charter, and private pilot. These are all examples of potential job fields for you.